Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. I'm a former commando from the United Kingdom. Today we have got another update on the Israel-Palestine situation. Today's date is Tuesday, 24th of October for reference. Still outside of the studio, guys, so hopefully you don't mind the difference in quality. I had no complaints so far, so far so good. Anyway, let's just get straight into this, guys. So as of 21 minutes ago, the number of reported Hezbollah deaths since the start of the tension with Israel has risen to 37. Smoke rises from the Israeli Pranit barracks as it was targeted by artillery shells and missiles. We can have a look here at this picture to see that this barracks is actually under attack in that regard. So artillery shells and missiles targeting these barracks is going to be just only making the whole thing a lot worse, okay, guys, which is not good for either side. 33 minutes ago, and this is on the Lebanon border. Lebanon border. Israeli artillery shelling on the outskirts of Aita and Al-Shab. All of this area, I think it's around 60,000 people have been evacuated from this border. This border in particular, especially from the southern part of the border, was had an exclusion zone of between 2.5 to 5 kilometers south of that border, i.e. any settlement, village, house, residency within that 2.5 exclusion zone slash 5 exclusion zone wasn't made clear. It was in and around that. Houses are to be evacuated and put in residential housing funded by the state, so people are going to be getting continually shipped out of here. This isn't going to take, half a day. This is going to be a continuous movement of people, because 60,000 people is quite a lot, especially those who don't get the message, for instance, or those who are in more remote areas of this border, elderly people, people who need extra care and stuff. It's going to be loads of individuals within this area that need logistically getting out of the way of this zone in particular. So Israeli artillery shelling on the outskirts of these areas is one thing to worry about, but it's the other stuff coming back from Hezbollah as well. That's the reason why they've been advised to leave their homes. Now, 43 minutes ago, Erdogan, the Security Council, is working to deepen the crisis in Gaza with its unilateral stance. MDA says 2 people are likely hurt by shrapnel following the rocket barrage on central Israel. Now, as a 45-year-old man in Holland and a 40-year-old man in Bir Yaakov, 3 others lightly hurt after falling while running to bomb shelters. So individuals having to scramble out this area to seek cover because of the rocket barrage, effectively. So there's people being killed still on either side every single day. Heavy mortar shelling from Lebanon towards northern Israel, and a vehicle ignites due to mortar shells. This is right on that border, guys, that we were talking about. So that border, in terms of the evacuation process, is it's imperative that these people get out the way, okay? Otherwise, individual innocent civilians are going to get hurt in the crossfire. This is what that rocket strike looks like. Looks like it's targeted some form of pylon. Maybe it's a power station or something like that. Can't really see too in detail there, but nonetheless, it's happening. Heavy mortar is shelling the area. Now, Blinken said he asked the Prime Minister of Iraq to pursue those responsible for targeting their forces. Israeli forces announced the targeting and killing of 3 Hamas commanders. So what we're starting to see come out of the news, what I've noticed, certainly on here anyways, we're not just seeing heavy barrages and raids on areas without any individual targeting and killing members of Hamas mentioned. Now what we're seeing is Israel mentioning that, during these strikes, there is actually commanders that they're targeting has specifically been taken out, okay, because what it was looked like in the picture that was being painted is innocent civilians are just being killed, and there's well over 4,000 individuals now innocently being slaughtered within Gaza at this moment in time. I don't care what side you're on. If you support that, then you're not a friend of mine, okay? So in terms of a direct proportionate response, I think this whole thing has been ridiculous, okay? These people have been under occupation effectively for like 50 odd years, 56, 57 years or something, and it's disgusting. I don't care who you are. The fact that what Hamas has done, what Hamas did in the beginning to spark this off, yes, that is absolutely despicable, horrendous, inhumane. These people it needs to be. These people need to be wiped off the face of the planet. All right, they're absolute evil, and I don't think any Islam religious person or Muslim would disagree with that. These people are scum. Now, is the response from Israel proportionate, directly proportionate to what's happened there? They're just targeting innocent civilians all over Gaza. Okay, now you're going to hear on multiple different YouTube channels and stuff say the contrary to that because they want views, they want support of people who support Israel. And you know, at the end of the day, guys, I'm not really bothered now. In the comments, I have loads of people supporting me, and mostly from a military perspective as well. Those who have served in the military understand where I'm coming from. It has to be direct and proportionate. Why aren't you targeting these individual commanders from Hamas with more specialized infantry soldiers, with more specialized individuals capable of being able to be deployed into these areas in small man teams and getting rid of the bad guys, instead of targeting buildings where there's innocent kids and children being quite literally destroyed off this planet forever? Okay, now you can deny all you want, guys. Now you can say what you want. It's wrong, and everyone knows it's wrong. Morally, it's absolutely disgusting. Israel has a fantastic military, more than capable of targeting these individuals, okay, without having to blow to smithereens innocent people off the face of this planet. All right, Hamas is the problem, but we need to understand that the response, it's not proportionate, and it's not direct either. It's indirect. It's targeting buildings where there's innocent kids, women and children dying at the hands of Israel. It's wrong. All right. Now, I'm not supporting Hamas. I think, and I've said it again, I'll say it again for this: the despicable, horrible human beings who do not deserve to breathe oxygen. So I'll say that. Okay, that's where my stance is. But what's going on here is horrendous, and that's why this source here, Israeli forces announced the targeting of killing of 3 Hamas commanders. Glad, okay, at least we're getting a little bit of understanding who they're actually targeting now instead of just random residential blocks. Okay, good to see that they're targeting the individuals responsible. Now, latest barrage to the central Israel, 3 injured, including 1 in moderate condition. Horrendous, guys. Okay, there's the fighting needs to stop. Period. This fighting needs to stop. It needs to stop. They need to come to a solution straight away. Rocket sirens in El Kosh on the Israel-Lebanon border. The US issued a new warning to ships traveling through the Red Sea after a drone and missile attack launched from Yemen during the Israel-Hamas war. Today's US Maritime Administration warning urged vessels to exercise caution when transiting through this region. So a lot of the guys, when I was in the Royal Marines, had just left post-Afghanistan because maritime security was going through the roof. Okay, now what we're going to be saying is another call for those security experts of the maritime capacity, and what you're going to be saying there is an influx of military men going into that job again, because guaranteed the wage is going to be going through the roof because of what's going on through there. So the whole grander scheme, the whole big picture of this is more money for the arms industry, more money for the defense individuals, majority of which are US companies, and more individuals profiting in a security basis. Okay, these jobs and everything. That's so this has a global effect, really, whether you like it or not. And there's a lot of people making money from it. Now, Guterres, the Palestinians have the right to achieve their aspirations in an independent state. They have the right to achieve their aspirations in an independent state. Yes, they don't have the right, or should I say, Hamas doesn't have the right to go about it the way they're going about it, okay? Trying to be impartial here, guys, and be honest, all right? Hamas can't just start firing rockets into Israel expecting to have an easygoing time in a free state, all right? It actually makes me wonder if Hamas actually wants an independent state because of what they've done, because, you know, history has taught us that by firing rockets into Israel, it's not gonna achieve anything. It's certainly not going to give you or create the assumption that Israel's going to go, yeah, you know what, have your free state, do what you want, okay, happy days. Just, it's not going to end like that. It always has a response of, wait, we're just going to hit you 10 times harder. All right, so it makes me question whether Hamas actually wants to have an independent state. He also said the aid that entered Gaza is a drop in the ocean of needs. Agreed. In terms of the people who are on, life support machines, babies who's just been born, all of that urgent care, nurses, midwives, doctors who actually want to work in these hospitals that are being targeted. It is a drop in the ocean. All right, it's a needle in the haystack. It's not going to do a damn thing really in the grand scheme of things, especially the longevity of this war is potentially going to play out for, all right, months, if not years. Secretary General of the United Nations, the Israeli bombing of Gaza continues in a disturbing manner. Disturbing beyond belief. Improportionate to what the actual initial response was. Okay, ridiculous. It's not going to solve a damn thing. Guterres' 35 UNRWA employees were killed in Gaza, and we condemn this. Hamas leader Osama Hamdan, we call on Arab and Islamic countries to boycott Israel goods. Yeah, come on, guys. This is just getting massively out of control. Multiple interceptions over central Israel. No initial reports of injuries. Hamas takes responsibility for the rocket barrage. Let's have a look at this. I think there's actually a Twitter. Let's see if we can load this up, troops. Apologies, this is going to take a short while. Here we go. 26 seconds worth. Get it on the big screen. Let's get this muted. Okay, so all I can see is birds and a couple of clouds in the sky. I'm guessing that's where they've been intercepted. Nothing special initially going on there, troops. Okay, so Hamas takes responsibility for the rocket barrage. I'm guessing this is shortly after the multiple interceptions took place. Okay, multiple alerts for Tel Aviv area. Look at this map. Look at that red alert. This is the counter for how many alert systems. I mean, that's pretty much the whole map, isn't it, right there? All right, you're not safe in pretty much any part of that. CENTCOM still assesses Israel was not responsible for the explosion at Al-Ahabi Arab Hospital in Gaza, but says we are continuing to work to corroborate whether it was a failed PIJ rocket. Interesting. The United States National Security Advisor warns that the war in Gaza could turn into a regional conflict. Well, if it doesn't settle down now, the fact that, Hamas is calling on for the Arab states to help or intervene in some way, shape, or form, and directly, proportionate to that, Israel's probably going to seek more help from the likes of the United States and other countries who follow the United States, i.e. Britain. Okay, we understand that the support has already started from the United States and partially, United Kingdom with the Royal Fleet auxiliary ships on standby within those areas. So yeah, it will turn into a regional conflict pretty soon if this spills out and it doesn't get contained immediately. What does containment look like, though? Well, it means you give, I'm not going to say Hamas what they want, because I don't think truthfully what they want is an independent state. I really don't. I think the way they're going about it just kind of proves that. Maybe I'm naive to that, guys, but the way they're going about it just doesn't make any sense, especially politically, okay? It doesn't make any sense. So I think this is going to spill out into a regional conflict if needs aren't met pretty soon. A solution needs to happen, guys, all right? And I think it's for, maybe, dare I say it, countries outside of Israel potentially intervene in some way politically to say, listen, this is the best solution. Hopefully the best solution happens, okay? Now, Turkish presidency, Erdogan tells Putin that Western silence exasperates the humanitarian situation in Gaza. Israeli army retaliating with artillery towards sources at the ATGM, launches towards Manara. Kiryat Shmona, that's near there. Quite a lot of activity going on there, guys, in terms of artillery. Anti-tank missiles were fired at Al-Manara area on the Lebanese border, and no casualties were reported. A lot of the people probably is evacuated from here now, guys. As we can see, quite a lot of hostilities at this area. Markaba is the nearest town. Westward of that, Talusa, Bani Hayan, and quite a lot of little settlements. Okay, guys, and I say settlements. Each settlement here, for reference, Talusa is about 4,000 feet long. About 2,000 meters wide. So, yeah, these areas, I mean, they are substantial living areas. Let's not mistake about that. Okay, Hamas Ministry of Interior, 25 dead as a result of Israeli bombings of citizens' homes in Nuzirat, Jabala, and Beit Leah. The bombings is crazy, guys, all right? Absolutely crazy. Kirby, who sent a number of military advisors to Israel who have experienced in ongoing operations. So they've sent a number of military advisors out there to hopefully help this whole thing out, or potentially try and make a bit more money with regards to the arms deals and stuff that happen over there. Additional sirens activated at central and south Israeli cities. Jerusalem doesn't seem to be one of them. An Israeli plane targeted the vicinity of the town of Kafar Shuba in the eastern sector of the southern Lebanon with 3 missiles. Southern Lebanon getting hit there. A rocket fell in Alfi Menesh. No casualties were reported. Where is this area? Okay. Zoom out a little bit. Right next to Ozone. 3 hours ago, alerts activated in central Israel and the West Bank. A drone fired 4 missiles at the area of Jabal Sadana, north of the town of Kafar Shuba, and the French president said, "We cannot tolerate the actions carried out by Hamas." Agreed on all parts. Renewed shelling across the Lebanese border. Photographic evidence of that shelling that's taken place there. So, a little bit of context, looks like nothing, but we can see shelling in the foreground there. It looks like a building or some form of complex. In the near ground here, we've got a road system going under, potentially a tunnel there, with a couple of residential looking houses on the outskirts, guys. But mainly in terms of what this area looks like, it's quite... it looks like quite a rural area with forests and, yeah, quite rural area. Let's get back off this. 4 hours ago, Israeli army says an anti-tank guided missile was fired from Lebanon at the Shuta area in northern Israel. No injuries. Israeli army says anti-tank guided missiles. So I don't know what the range is on these things, but looks like quite open land here anyway. No injuries occurred. LBCI sources confirmed that the Red Cross and the Lebanese army are in cooperation with UNIFIL, evacuated a body and a wounded person from the area between Kaf Chuba and Bashrat Farm. So someone's died there, straight on that border as well. Strikes in Jabalia, Gaza. Let's have a look at this photo. So we can already see that this area... in fact, no, it doesn't look like it's come under any kind of previous strike. The area looks like a typical town with typical buildings in there. A little bit of does that look like blood on the floor there? I don't think so. It's red anyway. But yeah, you can see on the rooftops there, some form of explosion. Buildings are intact. No sign of human life living there, though. It looks like it's been long evacuated, guys, for safety reasons, potentially. So that's on Gaza as well. I don't blame these areas for getting the hell out of there, but where can they go? You know, French President Macron proposed on Tuesday that an international coalition fighting against Islamic State in Iraq and Syria be widened to include the fight against the Palestinian militant group Hamas in Gaza. I could actually see this happening, guys, but what will come with that is not just a military international coalition fighting these people. What came after the main military groups then moved out is the private military contractors, or PMCs, moved in, okay, because they're getting good money, and you're getting a wide variety of people that are prepared to fight for a cause that they're not necessarily believing in, but they're getting paid a lot of money. So that's what worries me, okay, is potential contracts to PMCs that might integrate into this, and that's when it's all about money. Who's got the most money to fund what side politically? And then these things can go on for years, all right, because the both sides play off each other. Why? Because there's money in it for everyone. All of these big defense contracts being passed out to the PMCs, big money, guys, and almost pay to keep these things going on, okay? We've seen that in Iraq. But that's all I'm going to say on that. Arab Red Crescent, the aid that entered Gaza does not cover the needs. Not a chance. Not a chance. And the fact that it was so late in terms of how long it took to get through that border because of, strikes that damaged the road systems, the logistic supplies and everything, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. International community should be ashamed of itself. Rocket sirens sounding in Beersheba and surroundings. So... yeah, quite a densely populated area. This, on the surroundings, there's been rockets that have attacked these areas. Thankfully, it's just appearing to be in the forests and the wood blocks. So unless you're out walking your dog, which I don't think you will be, guys, no jokes intended there. You're not going to be picking up anything there. Israeli army says it has dropped flyers in the Gaza Strip asking Palestinians to provide information on hostages being held by Hamas. The Israeli army promises those who provide information with security as well as a financial reward. Please, guys, take this. I know no one's going to be watching probably from Gaza. Take this, okay? If you get offered something good like that, Take it, use it. It needs to be done. Simple as that, troops. Okay, it needs to be done. Act upon it. It's better than being bombed out your house. Okay, you're going to be provided security as well as a financial reward for getting these individuals who are actually causing the strikes on your country. All right, the response might not be proportionate, but the response is there nonetheless. Okay, and Gaza's getting absolutely hammered. So if Israeli army has offered the option of passing on information to where these bad guys are, pass the information on, get them the hell out of there, all right, and get yourselves out of there as well. A fourth batch of aid entered the Gaza Strip through the Rafah crossing. We still know that this area is a potential hotspot for the aid coming through. Why? You know, if you can stop aid coming through, it creates headlines effectively. One of the main reasons why the aid was people are a little bit preemptive of why wanting this aid to get through in the first place in case it passes in Hamas's hands. Of course it's going to pass through their hands, okay? And it's going to be used as a bargaining tool to a degree to the innocents, but at least that aid's getting through in some way, shape or form. You can't just stop the bloody aid from coming through, all right? You can't do that. Last point then of today, 7 hours ago, Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati made a surprise visit to the south of the country today and went to the army headquarters in the city of Tyre, Lebanon. There's a picture there. A couple of bald heads, just like mine. That's it, troops. We're going to wrap it up there. I'm not in my normal studio setup, guys, so I do apologise. I don't wrap it up with a separate shot of my head and stuff like that. I've only got one web camera that I'm using, so apologies for that. If you do want to support me further to provide things like this, join me on Patreon or become a member of the YouTube channel. It really does help us out to grow, guys. I really do appreciate it, and thank you very much for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment for the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one, troops, and take it easy.